Okay, I wanted to really quickly talk a little bit. Let's talk about the habitat of the Everglades. And I let you read this first before giving you some background on it, but I was just curious what we're coming up with. This is actually, wonder if I can zoom in. This is supposed to be an aerial of what the Everglades look like. Green, what do you see in the middle? Oh, you hit that light. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's that. And what? Yeah. Thank you. In the middle here we see, well, how would you describe this habitat? What's in it?
Green, grass.
A lot of green, a lot of grass. What else?
Water.
I was looking for the water, thanks. Yeah, there's a lot of water. What did they say that was filled with? They said what was there? You asked for the word? Marshes. Yeah, it's like marsh, swampy area, right? That's what the Everglades consists of. And it actually goes through a lot. It goes from one end to the other of, they call it Alligator Alley in Florida. And you can drive from the Atlantic over to the Gulf side, and you're literally driving through Alligator Alley. And when you drive down this highway, they have huge fences along the highway so that the alligators don't cross the highway, because it would cause an accident, as you can imagine. But that's where this area is like. It's very marshy. What else do you got for me from what you read? Anything? What's the habitat like? What's it like there? What lives there? Chris? They're infested with these pythons. What did they say? Did they say where those pythons came from? In the 1980s? Any guesses? They started to appear in the 1980s in the Florida marshes. How did they just, are pythons native to Florida?
No, from us.
Yeah, this is where the humans came in and helped out. Yeah, people had them as pets, possibly. They either escaped from their homes or people just got tired of having them and released them. So unfortunately now they have invaded the Everglades. So give me some more about the Everglades. So the python's not native to there, but now it's part of the habitat. What else is part of that habitat?
Deer.
Deer? Yeah, we learned that the hard way, right?
Birds, alligators.
Alligators, small animals, birds, lizards, probably a lot of bugs.
A lot of bugs.
Yeah, mosquitoes.
We can say a place to live for each community.
Pardon?
A place to live for each community. Habitat.
Yeah, there's,
A place to live for each community is called habitat.
yeah, but we're looking for like what is all there? What's all in that habitat? What makes up that habitat? What are all the different things? What? Okay. The, anything else you want to share with us? I want to just show these all, they named a whole bunch of different areas that are kind of part of it. Here's another great shot of what you're talking about, the marsh, right? This is this area they called Sawgrass Marsh. I wanted to show those pictures. So not a great place for humans to be setting up camp, but you can see how all the creatures that they were talking about live there. Good? All right. You have, sorry, you needed that sheet. That's what I was getting. So you started to, how are we coming up with things here? Give me some animals in this food chain. Sorry, I got just off track. What do you have down? What do you think is part of this food chain, based on what you've read?
Python and deer.
Python. Python, it wasn't supposed to be part of the food chain, but it is now. What else?
Deer.
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 Chris, what?
Grass.
Grass. Crickets. What?
Lizards.
Lizards.
Birds.
Grass. Birds. Poop. Yeah, you're right. Some other decomposers are probably in there. Using that, keep going, and our goal is that each table group that you come up with a solid chart, but then you have to have the evidence to support it. Where are you getting that information from? All right? So and you've got 2 sources there to guide you. So make sure you're including that and putting that in there. This is what your end product for tomorrow, the homework, what's going to be turned in
If you wrote this,
Pardon?
you wrote the source of this.
That's where you have to make sure that you're citing the information. You don't have to, you don't have to like say from the textbook or whatever, but you want to reference it. The book explained that a decomposer is whatever, and use that as an example. Pardon?
So I have to go back to the book, because in mine I wasn't going back to the book.
You want to use both to support it, because that food chain, the idea is you got half your information from the book, right? Because it's not talking about decomposers in that Everglades article, is it? No. So you want a descriptive paragraph to go along with the food chain that you're making. Everybody good? You're looking confused. On the back of this sheet that I gave you, the back of the graphic organizer, I've explained exactly what I'm looking for. And while you're creating this as a group, I do want you to do it independently also, because I want your paragraph, your writing. Okay?
I asked you that you made the chart for the.
Here, but I'm gonna redo it because I needed to read the whole thing, so I didn't.
And I think you're gonna want to make, you can make the chart however you want to make it look. If you feel like getting artsy and adding in some pictures or little drawings, excellent. Extra credit.
Because were you trying to have us make a food chain for just this paragraph or the whole?
Well, the whole article is there. Yeah.
I got misunderstanding.
Yeah. Independently. Yep, independently. So if you came up with, this is awesome. Yeah. So if you came up with, you've got to go in both ways. What does the Python do though?
They eat deer and lizards and alligators and birds.
What are you missing though? Look at this. This is beautiful. But what are you missing? What's over here?
Oh, that organism.
Because that grass and that area doesn't grow without what? Nutrients. Yeah, there's got to be decomposers going on there. And this snake doesn't just eat without getting rid of it. Right?
Well, that's where the
So-
grass and stuff comes in, where they.
Right, but all we have is this up here.
Yeah, I get it.
You get what I'm saying? So use this. This is why I had you use both resources.
So it can't just eat, and then these eat. But how does this come back up? The grass.
So, okay, so you could say that I know that plant life is in the food cycle.
Do you want us to draw?
Yep. You can use the white paper, the white cardstock I gave you at the tables, you can use to complete the project on. If you want to do a rough draft on that other paper first, that's great. But tomorrow, what I'm collecting from everybody is their own food chain. It can be the one you develop as a group, and the explanation that goes with it. So let me just go through the steps again. You have an explanation of what the assignment is on the back of the graphic organizer, all right? And what I want you to, what I'm looking for from each person is on that cardstock, the food chain that your group creates. You can create that together, but then you should have a copy of it on your paper. And then, yes, and then your explanation can include things that you as a group decided were good pieces of evidence to grab from the text to support why you guys created the food chain that way. But I want you to do that writing. Okay, I want each person to have their own writing, not 4 copies of the exact same thing. And one final piece that I didn't add before. I do want these presented. I do want you to stand up and explain how you came up with that and your explanation. Okay? So we'll do you'll be presenting in your group. Maybe your explanation you'll present in your group. Your food chain, obviously your group will know, so one person from each group will show that to the class just to see how they compare. Does that make sense? All right. Thank you.
I have one question here. You see, in the habitat,
It says that each population has its own place to live or habitat.
Right.
So it means the habitat
It's a place to live.
place to live.
It's the place where the animals live. Like what? So that's why I kept saying this habitat. What's the habitat of this? Now the python's habitat is the Everglades. It's not supposed to be, right? The habitat that the Everglades is supposed to be the alligator's habitat. But when I was asking what makes up that habitat, it's all those things. Like your habitat might be your house, you know, your city, whatever. Like that's the habitat. That's where you live.
Human also included in that.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yep. Good question. All right, is everybody clear on how this is going to look?
Kinda.
All right, great.